Hello, my name is Chelsea John, and I did my career profile on the job title of Nursing Home Activity Coordinator. And I was able to contact a former assistant activity coordinator at what was formerly known as Emeritus in Salt Lake City, Utah, but is now called Brookdale Senior Living Solutions. And her name is Kayla Reeder. I was able to ask her about some of the responsibilities that she had as an assistant and some of the responsibilities and qualifications that the lead activity coordinator had. And it was really interesting. As far as working environment goes, it's pretty dependent on the facility. Some facilities have you working with large groups and some at smaller groups. In her situation, she was able to work with a smaller group because she worked in a memory care unit, so there were less people there, but so she just had about 7 to 15 residents that she would work with. But another woman that was an activity coordinator in another segment of the facility worked with about 50 residents, and so it's really diverse as far as who and what group to work with. The basic hours are Monday through Friday, just normal business hours, although sometimes an activity is planned that you plan on weekends or in the evenings, and so any weekends or evenings that you do work are basically up to you because you're the one that planned them. Um, it also seemed very family friendly. For instance, one of the lead activity coordinators was able to bring her own young daughter to an activity during the evenings or the weekends, and so that is of course dependent on the facility, but in this specific case that was all right with them. Some stresses of the job, it can be lots of fun and it really depends on your attitude, but some of the stresses that can come are usually the activity coordinator has a very limited budget to work with, so she depends a lot on volunteers, and sometimes that's harder to get than one might think. You also have to be really good at managing time, and you have to kind of market your own ideas. You don't have a sales team or anything going out and getting people excited. It's all you, and so you have to be upbeat and a people person all the time, and sometimes that can be stressful if you're having a rough day. Um, Another stress to be added is you need to get all of the activities approved by facility managers or some kind of superior, and that can be stressful. If you want to make it a fun activity for all involved, you need to make sure that all interests are taken into consideration, but then to also interest the people above you. Some benefits in the facility where Kayla worked at, the benefits were pretty much the same as the nurses that worked in the facility. So pretty good healthcare coverage since it is in the healthcare field, and they did have good 401k plans. And depending on certification or degrees or other qualifications there, some of the benefits were better for others than those without. But some of the common tasks that a nursing home activity coordinator would do are things like planning different activities, whether it's a weekly bingo night or a barbecue for the 4th of July or just different special occasions. They make sure that those activities are planned, that supplies are there, that there's enough people to help out with the activities, because especially in nursing homes they do need a lot of help with the residents, so each person coming would require extra help from either volunteers or people that do work there already. In her facility she also had people, the activity coordinator would make huge calendars and put them everywhere or decorate the place, make it nice, fun, and lively. And so just different things like that. Other websites that I found that were actually people looking for others to fill the position, they needed them to attend weekly meetings with the support staff, take notes on progress depending on your own certification and education. If, for instance, one person that can become an activity coordinator is a recreational therapist, and that requires a different degree and certification, but they would need to report on the different progress that the residents are making. And for those people that are more qualified, they have different activities that they can work with the residents. For instance, one recreational therapist might do a modified Zumba class for the residents, like just moving your hand or your arm up and down, since they can't really be jumping around the floor, but making it fun and helping them be active and get out of their shells a little bit. For the starting salary range, from what I found, it was about 35 to 38,000 a year, and then once you get a bit more experience, it's usually more 37 to 40,000 a year once after about 9 years of experience in that specific field. Um, some different things about this is that with this career, it really depends on the facility, what specific things they want you to do, what specific requirements you need to have. However, for the most part, they do want you to have at least an associate's degree, if not a bachelor's degree. Some of the jobs that are open now are requiring proof of at least 2 years of college. And in the facility where Kayla worked, this a lot of the activity coordinators and assistant activity coordinators were former CNAs, or certified nurse assistants, so they had that additional certification, and they knew the residents and some of their difficulties and knew how the facility worked and operated, and so that made it a really easy transition for them to make it a fun and lively activity and lifestyle for the residents. And that is about all that I have on Nursing Home Activity Facility. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about this career.